We now move on to the numericals of the work power energy part 3, that is conservation of energy, that is regarding the potential and kinetic energy, exercise 2C. Okay, there are 6 sums over here. As per my old textbook, I don't know about the new one, we can just follow this particular 6 sums. So let's see sum number 1. A ball of mass 0.2 kg is thrown vertically upwards with an initial velocity of 20 meter per second. Calculate the maximum potential energy it gains as it goes up. So we have got, okay, before we write that thing, let us write the formulas also. So the first formula is U is equals to mgh, K is equals to half mv square, K plus U is equals to constant, okay, or we can also write that K at final position is equals to U at initial position. This is for a freely falling body, okay, or vice versa. So if it is thrown vertically upwards, then U at the initial position, so we'll do it this way, K at final position, U at the initial position for downward motion, and K, or we can say U at final position is equal to K at initial position for upward motion. Okay, you can always remember it this way, that when you are throwing it vertically upwards, at that time my potential energy is going to be 0 because I am at the ground level. So from 0 I am throwing it upwards, so kinetic energy is going to be maximum, but the potential energy will be 0 at the bottom. When it reaches the top, at that time kinetic becomes 0 and potential becomes maximum. Okay, and at any time the sum is always constant. This is the formula what we are using in this particular exercise. You see the first sum. So the first sum is given as mass is equals to 0.20 kg. You are given the initial velocity U is equals to 20 meter per second. You need to calculate the maximum potential energy it gains as it goes upwards. So it is going upwards. So first of all we can say K at initial point is equals to half mu square, which is equals to half into 0.2 into 20. So that gives me as 2 joule, and then we use this part, okay, K initial is equals to U final. So K initial is equals to U max final. Therefore U at maximum U is equals to 2 joule. Oh, one second. Half mv square. Okay, so into 20. So into 20 is equals to 40 joule. So that's 40 joule. Okay, so half mv square. So that's why it will be 40 joule. Clear? We now move on to sum number 2. Second sum. A stone of mass 500 grams is thrown vertically upwards with the velocity of 15 meter per second. So mass is given to you as 500 grams is equals to 500 upon 1000 kg is equals to 0.5 kg. Velocity is given to you as 15 meter per second. So it is shown vertically upwards. It is shown vertically upwards with the velocity. So initial velocity over here u is equals to 15 meter per second. Calculate the potential energy at the greatest height. So the potential energy at greatest height is going to be, so we write over here potential energy at greatest height is equals to kinetic energy at start. So K is equals to half mu square is half into 0.5 into 15 into 15. So that will give me as this 0.5 only. So it will be 0.5 into 0.5 into 15 into 15. That is 15, 225, 225 into half will be 2.5 and then 56.25. So it is 56.25 Joule. Therefore, first part is U at max, H max is equal to 56.25 Joule. Second part is the kinetic energy on reaching the ground. So it is what vertically upward. So उसके बाद वो नीचे भी गिरने वाला है. So you can see again second part, K on reaching ground is equals to U at highest point is equals to 56.25 Joule. No calculation required, directly the answer. Finally, the total energy at the halfway point. So total energy at halfway is total energy at start is equals to 56.25 Joule. Got it? So we don't need to say half लेना है, वो करना है, वो पूरा derivation करने की कोई ज़रूरत नहीं है. We don't need anything like that. We are just going to say by the principles that the U maximum पे इतना है, उतना ही जब नीचे गिरेगा तभी आएगा, उतना ही बीच में कहीं पे भी at halfway point it will be there. So that's how we are going to use this particular formula. So that's sum number 2. Now we move on to sum number 3. A metal ball of mass 2 kg is allowed to fall freely from rest from a height of 5 meters above the ground. G is equal to 10 meter per second square. Calculate potential energy possessed by the ball when it initially at rest and kinetic energy of the ball just before it hits the ground. What happened to the mechanical energy after it hits the ground? Okay, so we have got A, first part. Mass is given as 2 kg. Height is given as 5 meters. G is given as 10 meter per second square. So U is equals to mgh is 2 into 10 into 5. It's 100 Joule. So that's the first thing. Potential energy possessed initially at rest. So that is U is first part. Second part, kinetic energy. So again the same thing. Kinetic energy just before it hits the ground. So K final is equals to U initial. Therefore K is equals to 100 Joule. Now the third part is not third part, it's a B part. What happens to the mechanical energy after the ball hits the ground and comes to rest? So you can see when it hits the ground, what will happen? There will be some amount of heat generated, some amount of sound generated, okay, because it's going to bounce back and it's going to hit the ground, right? So The mechanical energy is getting converted to heat and sound. So mechanical energy converted into heat and sound energy. That's the answer for sum number 3. Got it? So we have the mechanical energy is equals to now the heat and the sound energy, because we are given that it is coming back to rest. So we either bola rehta that it is falling and it is bouncing back, then it's a different thing. But here it is saying that it is falling down and is coming to rest. So that means whatever is getting converted into it is the वो थड़ाम करके गिरेगा तो वो जो sound आया, that is nothing but the sound energy, and the ball is definitely going to get slightly heated up. So that will be the heat energy generated out of the mechanical energy. So next sum is sum number 4. Okay, you got the diagram represents shows a ski jump. A skier weighing 60 kgf stands at A at the top of the ski jump. He moves from A and takes off for the jump at B. Calculate the change in the gravitation potential energy for the skier from A to B and further. So let's see one thing is the figure. This is point A, which is at a distance of 75 meters. The mass, it's given as mass is equals to 60 kg, right? The mass of the body is 60 kgf, and g is to be taken as 10 meter per second square. This distance over here is given as 15 meters. This is point B. Okay, this is point B, this is point A. You need to find out the change in the gravitational potential energy. So change in gravitational potential energy is equals to mgh1 minus mgh2. So that is going to be mgh1 minus h2, which will be equal to 60 into 10 into 75 minus 15. So it's 600 into 60. That's 36000 joule. Okay. 36000 joule is the change in the potential energy. Now we can see the second part. They have given us that if 75% of the energy in part A becomes kinetic energy at B, so we can see that 75% of this is getting converted into kinetic energy. Rest is lost in friction. So calculate the speed of the skier. So we have over here K is equal to 75% of U. This is U. Right. So this is 75 upon 100 into 36000. Right. So that will be 75 into 360. So now K is equals to half mv square. We want to find out v square. So 75 into 360 is equals to half into 60 into v square. So that makes it 30. So over here 75 into 360 upon 30 is equals to v square. 0 cancels. This is 12. So 75 into 12. So 75 into 12 is equals to v square. So this is nothing but 25 into 3 into 3 into 4. So is equals to v, that is the root of this. So it will be 5 into 3 into 2 is equals to v. So v is equals to 15 meter per second as the speed at which the body is, one sec, half mv square 15 into 3 into 3. Right, so it is, oh, mistake, 30. 15 into 2, yeah. So it is 30 meter per second. So yeah, the answer is 30 meter per second will be the velocity at which the body is going to shoot out from the skier, at the speed at which the skier will achieve at point B. Got it? This was sum number 4. We now move on to sum number 5. Okay, sum number 5. A hydroelectric power station takes its water from a lake whose water level is at a height of 50 meters above the turbine. So it is given that the height of the water level is 50 meters above the turbine. Assuming an overall efficiency of 40%, calculate the mass of water which must flow through the turbine each second to produce power output of 1 megawatt. So we have over here that power output is equal to 1 megawatt. They are given the efficiency as 40%. So efficiency is equal to 40%. Okay. Now efficiency formula, efficiency is equal to output upon input. So we need to find out the input first, because when the water falls, there will be generation of electricity. So when the water is falling, at that time the efficiency needs to be 100%, but then when it is generating only 40%. 60% is wasted. 60% of the energy which we get from the water is wasted. Accordingly, we will first need to find out what is the input, and that input will be the amount of water which is being thrown on the turbine. Do you understand this? Here we cannot take this 1 megawatt as the power, and that's why the work done, and that means that much joule, and that much joule करके सीधा सीधा MGS लेके M ढूंढ लो. No, that is not possible. Why? Because in that case we are taking the efficiency to be 100%. कि जितना पानी गिरा वो पूरा का पूरा energy generate हुआ. Here what is happening? जितना पानी डाला उसमें से सिर्फ 40% of the water generated electricity. Another 60% was a waste. So if 40% के बदले अगर 100% efficiency होता, तो what would have been the power required? That I am going to find out first, and then I am going further. So you see first over here, 40% is equal to output, that is 1 megawatt. What is 1 megawatt? It is 1, 2, 3, that is 1000, and then this is like this, so 1 megawatt upon input. And its percentage, the percentage निकालने के लिए upon 100 कर देते हैं. Got it? So accordingly we have input is going to be, or we can keep it 1 megawatt only, easy कर देंगे इसको, 1 megawatt. So input will be equal to 1 into 100 upon 40. So that will give me as 2.5 megawatt. Input will be 2.5 megawatt. Okay. Now what is megawatt? What is? So power is equal to work upon time. Now it is 2.5 megawatt is equal to work upon time is 1 second. They are given you 1 second. So therefore what will be the work done over here? Work done will be equal to 2.5 into 10 raised to 6 joule. Work will be in joule because ये second है, ये per second. What is what? What is what? Watt, W-A-T-T, watt. What is watt? So watt is equals to joule per second. So that's why it is joule is this much. Now I know that this work done is equals to potential energy. Because काम किसने किया? पानी ने किया. So work done equal potential energy. So U is equals to mgh. So 2.5 into 10 raised to 6 is equals to m into g will be 10 into h will be 50 meters. So this is 2, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that is 6 upon 50 into 10 is equals to mass over here. So this 0, 0 cancel, ye 0, 0 cancel, तो अभी क्या बचा 5 and this is 5,000. So that gives me mass is equals to 5,000 kg of water is required. So 5,000 kg of water will be required for it to fall on the turbine to generate a power of 1 megawatt having an efficiency of 40% only. Okay, so that was sum number 5. Very important sum. Please go through it properly, understand it properly. What we did was we had the power output. Why output? Because they have told us that power output is 1 megawatt. Power output इतना है, efficiency के बाद में क्या होगा? Input ढूंढेंगे. Input will be much more than the output. Efficiency यानी क्या? मैंने efficiency is output upon input. Ratio of output upon input. Efficiency 40% यानी क्या? When I gave an 100%, it gave me only 40%. Okay, for an input of 100, I got an output of only 40. So for an input of 100, I got an output of 40. So if I have got the output as 1 megawatt, what will be the input? Input is 2.5 megawatt. That is what we need to find out. Once you know this value, you are just placing it in the formula for mgh. Okay, so this was sum number 5. Now we move on to the last sum of the chapter, that is sum number 6. So sum number 6, a bob of a simple pendulum is imparted a velocity of 5 meter per second. So the sixth sum is velocity is equals to 5 meter per second when it is at its mean position. So what maximum vertical height will it rise on reaching an extreme position if 60% of the energy is lost in overcoming the friction? So here we will first find out. Over here kinetic energy imparted will be half mv square is half into m into 5 into 5 is equals to, now this, because the mass is not given to me, we will not take m. So this is nothing but 25 upon 2m joule. That is given that 60% of the energy is lost. Okay, energy lost is equal to 60%. Therefore, useful energy will be how much? 100 minus 60 is equal to 40% of K. So we can see that U will be equal to 40 upon 100 into 25 upon 2m. 40% of K. What was K? 25 upon 2m. So that will give me 25 fours. This is 20 tens and then 5. So U will be equal to 5m. What we need to find out now? The height it is going to reach. So we now know that U is equal to mgh. So 5m is equal to m into 10. G will be 10 and h is what we need to find out. So m gets cancelled and accordingly 5 upon 10 is equal to h. Therefore h is equal to 0.5 meters. So the pendulum will go up to a height of half a meter when it has got the velocity of 5 meter per second. It been hit by a velocity of 5 meter per second and there is an efficiency of only 40%. That means loss of energy 60%. Again, read the sum properly. They are given that the energy is lost. 60% of the energy is lost. So you cannot take 60% of this. You will take 40% of this because 60% lost. यानी useful कितना मिला? सिर्फ 40%. So if 60% is lost, useful energy will be 40%. So 40% of K will be giving you this particular 5m joule. So this is 5m joule, and accordingly we'll be having 5m is equals to this, hence H will be 0.5 m. So these were the 6 sums of the work power energy, last part, that was conservation of energy. With this we complete our chapter work power energy in all respects, including the numerical. So that was the end of the chapter. There were 3 parts in it, so all the 3 parts had got the numericals. We had done all the 3 numericals also properly. Please go through them properly. These are very important numericals. So that's the end of the chapter.